Okay, so we're starting chapter 8, which means we're on to transformations. This reference sheet is very, very important. If you're able to print out, add the extra information in class, I'll be giving you guys a copy. Or if you want to reach out, I can try to give you a copy as well. That right there says y equals 0. That says x equals 0. This breaks down reflections, rotations, translations, and dilations. We're going to start off 8-1 with translations. But first we have to understand what a rigid transformation means. Rigid means it does not change size or shape, okay? So our pre-image maps onto the image. They're both the same size and shape. Non-rigid would change size or shape. The three examples of rigid transformations are reflections, rotations, and translations. Once we get to dilations, those are non-rigid transformations. They change the size of the shape. So these three are rigid. Okay, so that's the definition of rigid transformation. Now we get to get into translation. So this is the function notation for a translation. And translations are the easiest transformation. All they do is move a distance and direction. Okay, so when we have a rule written out like this, the A gets added to the X and the B gets added to the Y. That's all you have to do. And if it's a negative number, then you just subtract. Okay, the A shifts horizontally left, right. That's our X value. So if we add 2, we're moving 2 to the right. Or if we subtract 2, we're moving 2 to the left. While B shifts Y, so that's our vertical axis, shifts it up or down. So if it's plus 2 here, or if it's just 2, Y, our Y coordinate, our coordinate would move up 2. If it was negative 2, it would move down 2. Now, if we're given 2 points, we can find the rule. So if we're saying, hey, what is the rule that maps this point A 2, 3 onto its image? This is the pre-image, A, B, C, and the image is called A prime, B prime, C prime, okay? So that's what the little apostrophe is. That means prime. So if I'm saying what maps this onto this, what we would say is to find the rule, I would do image minus pre-image. So I would do 4 minus 2 gives me 2. And 2 minus 3 gives me negative 1. So that's how I would write the rule. So now I know if I took A and I added 2 to X, I'd get 4. And if I took this, subtracted 1 from Y, I'd get 2. So that's how I would find the rule. That's what it means right here. And then the last part is to combine translation rules, composition, just add them together. So what a composition is if we have 2 rules and this little circle in between them, that means composition. And another rule, okay, 1, negative 4. Okay, so 2 different rules. The easiest way is you just combine them, okay? They put them into one rule. 2 and 1 make 3. 3 and negative 4 make negative 1. So we can combine those into one rule. That's what the little composition means. So now let's look at example problems. This is in the textbook. So just identifying a rigid transformation, just does it appear to change size or shape? Well, this clearly changes size from the pre-image to the image, so it is a non-rigid transformation, okay? For this one, it's just asking to name the corresponding parts. E gets mapped onto what? Well, E prime. EF, the side length EF gets mapped onto E prime F prime. That's all you have to do here. Now for a translation rule, the easiest way is to write down all 3 of the coordinates. Okay, I like to write them down. I'll show you how I like to write them down. So I like to write down the coordinates. Let's go. R is at negative 1, 3. Remember, X, Y. Q is at 3, 3. X, Y. And P, that's P, not S, is at 2, 1. Okay, so I like to make 3 columns. So this is where I'm going to put my rule. It says my rule is T negative 2, negative 5. And according to my transformation reference sheet, all I have to do is add, okay? And then I'm going to get R prime, Q prime, and P prime. I like writing it out in the column format. I highly recommend it, especially for showing your work. That's incredible. So now I just add the A value to the x's, and the B value to the y's. So -1 plus -2, that's -3. 3 plus -5, that's -2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 5 is -2. 2 minus 2, well, that's 0. 1 minus 5, that's 4. -4, sorry. And so you can see adding a negative is the same as subtracting. And so then I get the new coordinates and I'm good to go. And it tells me to draw them, so I draw them here. Now for this problem, it's asking to write a rule that describes it. And this is like what I was just saying. To find the rule, we just have to subtract, or we can count. So this is the pre-image, the P, and then the P prime is the image. So I could just count how much it goes to get from P to P prime. So it goes, let's do the x-axis first. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the right. So 8 right, that's positive 8, and it moves 2 down. So that's -2, 2 down. So I could write the rule as T8, -2, okay? So you can just count if you wanted to, but make sure you know which one's your pre-image and which one's your image. The one without primes is always your pre-image. The one with primes is always your image, okay? And last but certainly not least, just showing you can combine translation rules by just adding them together, okay? So we just combine this. 4 and 2, well, that ends up being 6. -4 and 2 ends up just being 2 down, -2. So that's something to keep in mind. Make sure you're doing the assignment either on Math Excel, the quiz, or these textbook problems. And that is what 8-1 translations is all about.